Welcome, everybody. I'm Greg Shemizi with VVH-TV, Hamptons Television, and it's our 29th year here at the Hamptons Film Festival. We're at the lovely 1770 Inn and Restaurant right here on Main Street, and it's going to be an exciting film festival post-COVID, but we're here and we're going to be doing interviews with young filmmakers, old filmmakers, middle-aged filmmakers, everybody in between, and we're going to catch you up on what's happening. So let's take a good look, and welcome to the 29th Annual Hamptons International Film Festival. For a complete listing of all the selections of films and conversations with and the like, go to hamptonsfilmfest.org, and you can have a complete list of what's going on, what's happening in the next couple of days. So we wish you'd come down and enjoy it. There's nothing like watching a film in the theater with other viewers, but hamptonsfilmfest.org. Okay, let's go. Let's take a look. We're at the 1770 at the back. We're just shooting. Hi, dear. It's like being in Rome.
It is. Yeah, feel free to set up wherever you.
Yeah, my LA adventure has come to a close when all of the events and everything I was just there for a wedding.
All right, I'm here with two filmmakers, and they have local experience here as well, right? You guys are both local. I have Kelsey Edwards, who's the director.
Hello.
And Debbie Wish, who's the producer. She's the money lady, you know what I mean?
I hope I did a lot more than that with this film, but yeah.
Well, you know...
As a producer, you're responsible for raising the money and keeping the books.
Keeping the budget nice and tight.
Yeah.
The Art of Making It, and it's a world premiere documentary feature, USA, and it's 95 minutes, our favorite length, and it's in English, one of our favorite languages, too. And you're here, and welcome to the festival, and thanks for coming. And they volunteered to be interviewed quickly. They're our first interview, believe it.
Your first victims, right?
First victim, first contestant.
Anything.
So, first of all, give us a thumbnail sketch of what the movie is about. It's a documentary, and
You want to go?
Sure. Our film, The Art of Making It, profiles a group of young artists, or emerging artists, at pivotal moments in their careers, and takes their stories as a way of giving a ground-up look at the art world ecosystem and whether or not the systems they have to navigate are working properly or not.
That's very good. Very nicely put. And what brought you to the project?
I had produced a film called The Price of Everything that was an Emmy-nominated feature-length documentary about the art world ecosystem, but it was more the treetops. And in every film, including this film, a lot more ends up on the edit floor than on screen. And one of the things that was left on the editing floor with that film was the younger artists and sort of the look at who makes it and why and what's the secret sauce that thrusts some artists off into the stratosphere and leaves others struggling to survive. And Kelsey is a curator also and a writer, and she works with younger artists, and we were going to do a film about an art fair, which for students, and it never happened for a number of reasons that are sort of clear after you see our film. But together we just decided to make this journey and to look at sort of the other end of the art world, the part that most people don't read about on page 6.
Right, and you know, being out here on the East End, you know, the home of de Kooning and Pollock and everybody else, and Krasner, and every other person that's part of their DNA, they're into art, either buying it or making it or appreciating it, all in between. And it's a crazy business because you can't figure it out. It's not something that you can sit down and learn in school thoroughly. And certainly if you're like a starving artist, you still want to, you know, make a living doing it. It's to get your arms around it. It's very difficult. Don't you agree?
I do, and I think part of the fun of making The Art of Making It was taking this opaque world and kind of lifting the curtain and giving the audience a real firsthand look at and experience of what is actually going on behind that curtain.
Now, both of you, are you artists yourselves?
I'm not. No. I come to this, I'm very, very involved in the art world. I'm the head of the MFA board at Hunter. I'm involved in the art board at Stanford. I'm involved in numerous art museums, but I come to it as someone who cares deeply about art. And I think this film is about visual artists, but it could just as easily be about dancers or singers or filmmakers or video people. Yeah, it's people who choose a creative path. It's a non-linear world, and that you need to be highly educated and take on enormous amount of debt and risk. And the chances of making it, whatever that means, are very slim, less than 1%, even if you have an MFA from a top program like Yale.
I think about when Pollock, I think it was Helmut, did the documentary on him, and actually got the idea of getting a plate glass panel, it was a big plate glass panel, and putting his film camera underneath and having Pollock dribble over the glass. And it gave like an impression from the canvas side up to see how Pollock created. And as a result of that, from what I've read, Pollock really, it was too much because it actually like penetrated the curtain, the artistic curtain. So he was like upset about it. He voluntarily did the shoot, but you could see that it actually breached that it's like when the Wizard of Oz, when they go behind the curtain. Did you experience that with any of the artists when you, no?
I don't think so. There's such an important trust relationship between filmmakers and subjects. It's very collaborative, and we are in dialogue with them all the time about what we're planning on shoot, how we're planning on working with them to translate their creative process into a visual experience for an audience. And we were very fortunate that we had the access we did and the intimacy, and I think the friendships we formed with our subjects show in the film.
That's lovely. That's terrific.
I fully agree with that. And the fact that 12 of our stars of this film came to the Hamptons this weekend to be here and be part of the celebration.
Oh, wow. That's lovely.
It's almost unheard of.
Well, so when they have the screening, they're going to be sitting out in the audience?
Mm-hmm. And then some will panel and do the Q&A later, and they're doing a private panel that we're taping for educational impact at the Watermill Center tomorrow. So they're all very much part of the
Well, this has such
process.
a component, like an educational component, because people in films, not only in art school or high school students, or would love to see it, because it's something that you don't get access to the artists that intimately, which is great. And this is the first time you guys have been to the Hamptons Film Festival? No?
It's the first time I've been here with a film, but as a local filmmaker, I've come to the film festival just as an audience member before, and it's such a pleasure. And actually, the first time I saw Debbie's last film was at Guild Hall.
Oh, wow.
Which is
there's
where
a
we're
wonderful
premiering.
synchronicity.
Your friends, deep relationship.
But I also will say that appropriately, we really, really wanted to premiere the film here. We made the film here. Kelsey lives in Quogue. I lived here for the entire pandemic. We were in post-production with our brilliant editor, Nenev Laura Miniere, and her co-editor, Inez Vogelfang, and we were all Zooming, and Kelsey and I were truly in the Hamptons.
That's lovely. Now, what format did you shoot in? A video or?
Yep, we shot in Universal 4K video.
Nice, very nice. It's terrific. And with the COVID thing, the
what?
The COVID thing, we're going to call it. It's a disaster. But what happens is it shook everything up. It certainly reestablishes how one gathers information, how one shoots, and everything else. And most of your shooting was done during the COVID epidemic?
No, we actually wrapped our final week of planned production the first week of March in Los Angeles and flew home. So in a funny way,
so you got it under the wire.
Just under the wire, but we did have to continue telling the story because all the changes impacted the artists' lives. And so we found creative techniques to continue to push the narrative forward.
Did it live up to your expectations, the film, when you see it at the end and all that?
I think the film's incredible. I'm super proud of it. I'm proud of the team. I'm proud that, this is Kelsey's first feature-length doc, directing We used a first-time cinematographer, Sebastian Lasosa Rogers. We have musicians, the opening number and the closing number, his first film. So I think we really spoke truth to power and gave a lot of new voices an opportunity.
That's wonderful. You know, the idea of having a young filmmaker, a woman filmmaker.
Most of our team is female, which is why I think we were...
That's a powerful thing. That's terrific.
Yeah.
That's wonderful.
Yep.
That's good.
Very collaborative.
It is.
Very girl power.
Where do you go from here? Are you going to collaborate on another project? Are you in the middle of something new?
It feels like we're just starting a whole other journey, you know, letting our film out into the world. So
Right.
I
It's
think
like a baby going
we'll be-
out.
Yeah, it's
Will
like
be-
giving birth.
All right.
And I have to say what you said earlier about Debbie is not, she's the money lady, but she's so much more. She's been my partner in crime, really hands-on. And
Well, that's a wonderful,
documentary
to collaborate
producer.
with somebody that you trust is fantastic. I mean, in an industry that, I don't have to tell you, is filled with pitfalls and creepy people out there. It's always good to find people that you could deal with.
No, this has been, it's really, I think to make a documentary film is almost like being an artist. It's a crazy professional choice, and you have to be super passionate about your subject and about telling stories and about the message in the film, or there's no reason to do
There's
it.
it's a Doc Film Fest. It used to be the Take Two Film Festival out here, but they changed the name to Doc Fest. And I would look into that because that would be like a perfect fit for you guys. It's smaller, but the venue is documentary films. Do you have a distributor?
We are premiering, this is our world premiere. We are just beginning to show the film. We have a wonderful sales agent, Annie Roney from Roco Films, and there's a lot of buzz about it. One of the heads of a major studio called me this morning.
Right.
So I'm very confident and
This is
excited
a place
about
to
it.
do
But
it.
yeah,
You'll break, and that'll be good.
that will be
You know?
great.
And people at home, there are people that watch the film festival on TV and then come in to see that they pick and choose from the catalog. There are people that have this thing on huge trust funds or whatever they have, and they would love to get behind something like this. It'd be a nice thing, the perfect marriage, as they would say in the old days. But I'm so happy that both of you are here, Kelsey Edwards and Debbie Wish, the director and the producer of the Art of Making It. Go and see it. In the theaters, it's going to be out when?
We don't know yet because this is the world premiere. We sold out in about 20 minutes at Guildhall, which was wonderful. We have a New York premiere that I'm not allowed to speak about yet.
Do you have a website so that the
We
fans...
have a website, theartofmakingitfilm.com, and we also, please follow us on Instagram, The Art of Making It Film, and we post all the time. There's a lot of interesting things going on.
And take a look at this snazzy hat that I'm wearing.
Yeah.
Isn't that cool?
Merch matters.
And merch matters, and merch is available on your website, right?
Not yet, but maybe. Should we?
I think you should. That's a good idea.
Okay.
All right,
Thank you so
thank you.
much.
Thanks
Thank
for
you
being
for
here,
your
and welcome
time.
to the festival.
Thank you
you.
so much.
Well, we are honored to have with us the creator, the producer, the lady with 1,000 jobs, but all she does is very, very good, Maya Jones, and she has a project that's called the Shades of Long Island, and we're proud to have it part of our family. It's going to premiere on October 17th. And we're very proud of Maya, her whole group, the Jones family, of course. So, Maya, welcome to the film festival, and not part of the film festival, but I want you to keep a lookout to watch for it on Hamptons Television, which is an amazing thing. Maya, welcome.
Thank you so much for having me on. I appreciate you guys just, taking the time to look into Shades and Shades' mission and what we're trying to do, so I really appreciate it.
So let's take people to the very beginning. What brought you to Shades?
So, I was born and raised on Long Island, and growing up, on Long Island, when it came to media, I didn't really see too many stories of people who looked like me, young, a person of color. I thought that was like kind of a gap in the coverage on Long Island, so I thought, why not just start my own? Why not me? Why can't I start something, I'm a journalist. I just graduated from college with my degree, and I said, why not? I have to have something for myself anyway, so. Yeah.
And you have an incredible family, your brother, your dad, your mom. Everybody's involved, and they're all professionals in the field. And then you have Ben, who's like an adopted brother of yours and ours.
Yes.
So it's like a perfect mix, like a cauldron of all these creative minds coming together. And you guys work really hard to get it out there. It's really something. But just describe a little bit about the Jones Group and what it's about.
Oh boy! So my family, we have a show called not Shades, but Let's Kick It with the Joneses, and we've been doing that for some time. And it's basically a talk show style kind of format featuring me, my older brother, my mother, and my father, and we have intergenerational conversations on different things from music to dreams and nightmares to Marvel. We love to talk about superheroes, and so we have an episode about that. So we've been doing that for some time, and my brother and me, we work behind the scenes. My brother, he actually is an editor at News 12, and he has a film degree, so between that and my skills with, Adobe Premiere and different things like that, we kind of, put it together, and we're able to all do it ourselves.
And your dad works for Altice?
Yes, my dad works for Altice. He's in the field. He's a field technician, I believe that's the term. He's been doing that for over 20 years now.
God bless those guys. They keep us on the air,
Right. Anytime he gets a call, he's going out there, coming out here, or going out to Queens of the city. So
I know. Those are the guys that actually climb the towers, look at the wires, check the fiber, everything. We know that very well, and we're grateful to that. That's a terrific group of dedicated people. So now the Shades show that you have, which will premiere on October 17th on VVH. On Fios and on all of the things that we go. We'll come to your house and we'll show it to you. That project is really remarkable. I mean, for literally one of your first projects, it was beautifully put together. And it has stuff in it that is entertaining, historic, things that'll make you think, and things that I'm out here on the East End, and things that you've gone unnoticed, and you've handled it fantastic.
Thank you so much. Yeah, it was definitely a lot of work putting it together, but definitely shout out to Ben, who, has really, he made the show possible. And then my brother, who, again, he has the film degree, he has the camera expertise, he helped me out a lot on this, and then, of course, my parents, they're always supportive. So I had a good team behind me, and without that, I wouldn't have been able to get it done. So
it was beautiful, and I know you could feed the beast because there's plenty of stories out here that,
hell yeah.
And I'm pretty sure people, and if our viewers have stories that they're sensitive to, they can forward it to you at your website.
Yes, definitely. You can reach out to us through our website. There's a contact page there, and you can reach out to my email. It's just my name, Maya Jones, MIYA.
Right.
JONES at shadesoflongisland.com. That's my email. I respond pretty quickly. I check my email like 24/7.
So do that. I mean, if you have a story, and it could be with Native Americans, or it could be with the African Americans, or anybody, Italian Americans that want to get their thing on, but. Basically, it's the people that have been long overlooked, and you said people of color, women, people that need extra exposure, and you do it so well, and it's wonderful that we found each other, that we're delighted that this is going to happen. I'm pretty sure people, when they get a hold of it, it's going to be something.
Oh, I'm excited. I'm very excited. And again, I appreciate you guys for seeing the potential and seeing the mission and really believing in it. So I appreciate it.
We do, and we're very proud of you, to say the least, and your whole family, and Ben, who's part of your family. But so what keeps the thing moving? What gets your sort of juices going there from one project to another?
Honestly, I think the response that I get from people kind of it makes me want to move forward, because anytime I mention Shades and what we're doing and all the projects we have going on, they get really excited. They're like, oh wow, I've never heard of anything like this. You know, we don't have this out here. We need more of this. So anytime I hear that, it makes me feel like I really, it makes me feel like, I do have something, you know? I have something good going.
You really do. And, you know, it's amazing, because that project, I guess, came to you in disguise. It was something that it wasn't at the forefront that you were going to do this. It's a lot of work. I mean, people think, oh, it's easy to do. It's a
lot of work.
A lot of work. I mean, just to do the interviews, and especially that interview that you did with that gentleman that we just lost.
Yes, Mr. William Pickens III. Yes.
I mean, just the amount of history that he had in him, and the fact that we lost him like a couple of weeks ago.
I know, crazy.
And it really is something. Just a little bit about him, because he's one of the gems of Sag Harbor.
Yeah, no, I'm really happy that I was able to meet him, because I'd seen his image, I've seen him, you know, people have talked about him, so it was nice to be able to interview him. I don't know if that was the last interview he did. I feel like it is.
I think it is.
And I'm happy that I was able to capture, you know, his history, his knowledge, his wisdom. And he's just he was a really cool guy, really nice, friendly, helpful. And when I heard the news, I was surprised and sad.
It was a shock. But I think in many ways, ironically, or however you want to deal with it, was like a passing of the baton from his generation to you guys, which is something that...
It's funny, when we actually went to go interview him, I remember when we were filming him, and me and my brother and Ben were going over like some of the technical things, and he was like, yeah, you know, you young people with that technology. He was just like so encouraging, you know, of like, you know, us doing our thing and, you know, putting the work in. So he was really, really supportive.
Well, I'm so glad that you documented his life and that you included it in your show, because it would have been a pity sort of to have that overlooked. And it's great. I know here through the years we've interviewed at various events at Tuskegee Airmen, and that was a whole thing. And you know, people that we had the airmen, and we had people that suffered the Tuskegee experiments that were unconscionable. If you thought the stuff that went on in Nazi Germany was something, you should see what happened during Tuskegee with the African American servicemen that were treated as if they were lab rats, you know what I mean? But not cool, but it takes history to sort of reveal those things, but it takes new technology to broaden the thing, so that young people say, wow, I didn't know that, what's going on, you know, it's really something.
Definitely. That's definitely part of the goal with Shades of Long Island, is to highlight those stories that you might not have heard about, or this organization over here that you might not know is doing this, so that's really the goal for us.
Now, I'm going to do a shameless thing, because we're on TV and we're nothing but shameless here. If you're interested in reaching out to Maya and her team and sponsoring her for future endeavors, by all means do that. We highly recommend her work, and it's a terrific thing, whether it's Shades of Long Island or her future endeavors. But she's a solid thing. She's a young filmmaker who checks all the boxes. I mean, you're smart, you're from the area, you're a community person, you're community-minded, and it's a pleasure. We're lucky that we have you on our air.
Thank you.
But, we're not foolish to think, we're going to just keep her in the box and that'll be it. We hope that your career will bring you to higher and higher, platforms of exposure. And, we're here at the film festival today, and I know that, it's not really technically in the film festival thing, but certainly it's worth, some sort of consideration. That's why, we're honored that you're here to join us, and that we want our viewers to know this is not part of the film festival. You're going to be able to watch it on the small box for now, and then eventually on your platforms, YouTube and your other platforms, you could see it. And certainly, keep an eye out for it, because she's producing stuff left and right. And, there's definitely a feature movie in you that's going to happen one of these days. You just have to go with the flow, you know what I mean? Just remember the little guys, like my brother and myself, so that...
Oh, no, definitely, definitely. I'll always remember you two. That's for sure.
I don't like the way you said that.
All good, all good, all good.
All right, that's good. All right, so Shades of Long Island,
Yes.
and it's a great series. Look at the first one, October 17th, WVVH-TV, and you're watching the channel now, but tell your friends, and we're very proud that she's on the air, and she has a great team, and let's encourage her to make more stuff, right?
Yes.
All right, thank you
so
for being
much.
here, dear.
Thank you.
We're talking about Shades of Long Island, and a great documentary that's going to air on VVH on October 17th, premiere on October 17th. And I have here a guy that is near and dear to our heart, Ben Carlin. And Ben does everything. He's like the production guy, I guess you would say, for Shades. And he's a very talented local man who that works for a good friend of ours too, Steve Huilly.
Yes.
So we love Steve, but that's a whole other story. It's going to turn into the Love Network pretty soon. But welcome to the film festival.
Thank you.
And we're very proud of Shades and what you guys have done. You're with the Jones family. Like I said to Maya, I said it's like you're an adopted son of the Jones family as well.
Yeah.
So it's good. And it's wonderful that you all got together. So tell us a little bit about the project from your point of view.
Sure. So I started writing for Shades of Long Island last January, and I did a lot of online reporting for 6-7 months.
Wow.
And then I met you guys. We had a meeting in your East Hampton office, and I told you about Shades' mission, which is to highlight millennial and minority stories throughout the region of Long Island. And you guys said it seems like a good idea for a show. And that was a great opportunity. We really get to highlight a lot of stories that are overlooked. For our pilot on October 17th, we do a history of Eastville Sag Harbor, which is a name I think a lot of people have heard before, but we got to interview longtime residents and go a little in depth about the history.
And fortunately or unfortunately, one of the subjects passed away.
Yeah, sadly, William Pickens III.
And historically, William, there wasn't anything that he wasn't a part of. And I mentioned to Maya, it was like as if his appearance on the program is like passing the baton to the younger people, which is basically, he always was a generous man, but that was amazing.
No, I think he was probably the chief activist for just Eastville awareness and just making everybody aware of the issues that they face in that community. And it was an honor to meet him. He was very nice, very smart, and obviously
and he was living history. He was It's like meeting the guys from the Tuskegee Airmen. Dealing with those guys, it's like they're quiet, soft-spoken, but they're deep in history. They went through a very rough time, and they taught us all.
Right. No, he told us how when he first came to Eastville, it was segregated, and it was the only beach that black people were allowed to use. So it is living history, and it's just amazing to, instead of reading about it, to meet someone that...
Right. You didn't think that they were buried separately. They were treated awful. There's a horrible story of Lena Horne when she performed. Her daughter ended up using one of the pools at this big hotel luxury hotel in Beverly Hills, and the guests had them the management drain the pool because the kid swam in it. And in the meantime, Lena Horne, who was a colossal singer, she was performing, but they kind of they treated her as if she wasn't, worth
Right.
anything.
Yeah.
And it was horrible. And
she has ties to Eastville too, actually.
She does. She does. And she used to come out here often. And she visited a dear friend of ours that passed away, Chico Hamilton, that was a jazz drummer. And he played for her and everything. But it was a heck of a time. But here at the East End, we're fortunate that we have, and even to this day, there seems to be, I'm going to use the term brotherhood almost, that there's a camaraderie or a spirit that between the artists and the performers and everything that sort of led people through it.
Right. No, it's a very tight-knit community. And for the pilot, we got to interview William Pickens, and someone he's been friends with for like 70 years.
Wow.
E.T. Williams. So
Yeah.
you're right. No, they experienced a lot together, and the ties continue today.
And that was beautifully shot, and I think it'll stand up through history because that thing is like living history when you have people like that. And I'm glad that you're documenting that, and then you're not only that, but you're actually showcasing the millennials and the people today,
Right.
because of what's happening, in society today should be documented. I'm very proud of you. But what outside of Shades, what other things are you working on?
Outside of Shades? Yeah, so as you said, I just started at a Word Hampton, which is a PR firm in East Hampton.
Right. Steve O'Willie.
Yes, he's a great guy.
He is.
Yeah, and I'm learning a lot there.
There's not a person he doesn't know.
Right.
And we do with Steve the restaurant week with Steve, which is a big thing. And he masterminded that whole thing. That was a concept that he came out with, and we're very proud of Steve.
Yeah, that's coming up November 7th to the 14th. I'll plug that too.
Plug that too, because we love Steve. We plug him all the time.
He loves you guys too.
Oh, he's terrific. He's amazing. But we're happy that you're here, and we're very encouraged. And for our viewers at home, October 17th, what time is it?
12 noon.
12 noon. You could watch it. Sunday. 12 noon. Shades of Long Island, and it's well worth it. Now, the website for Shades is?
Yes, shadesoflongisland.com.
And if they want to get in touch with you guys, the email would be?
Well, we have Facebook, Instagram.
Oh,
yeah.
That's easy. So this way, get in touch with them. Not only, to write your fan letters and say how great the show is, but if you guys have ideas at home.
Yes.
There's your uncle or somebody like that has a unique story. That's something that you guys would be interested in.
Absolutely. Yes. If you have any interesting stories, we're definitely open to hearing.
Right. They're open and they're flexible enough to do a great job. Again, Ben, thank you for being here.
Thank
We
you,
really
Greg.
appreciate it.
Thank you.
And we're really proud of you. Keep up the good work. We're really proud of you. I'm in front of the famous Guildhall, which is a very historic showplace. It was a couple of years back. It was renovated from top to bottom, and this is one of the venues of the film festival. It's a cherished place, and if you come into town, stop by, take a look at Guildhall. It's open all year round, and it's a beautiful place. I'm here with a local celebrity, dear friend of ours, Jamie Blue Eyes.
Wonderful to see both of you.
And this pandemic has kept all friends apart and everything else really lousy. But we're here.
Does that mean I can give you a hug?
Yes, you can, sure. I've been vaccinated.
Me too. I'm double vaxxed.
Double vaxxed, and hoof and mouth disease as well. I mean, it's especially in the TV industry, we have to do that.
Exactly.
So what have you been up to? I've been following you on Facebook.
Keeping busy. I'm working in digital media now for an Israeli company. More about that later. I don't want to take up too much valuable time, but Fernando and I just came out from seeing the worst person in the world.
Right, how'd you like it?
I loved it. It was interesting. I never would have seen it in a movie theater. Maybe I would have caught it on Netflix or on one of those streaming channels. But it took place in Oslo, Norway. So it was a picture postcard for great promotion for the country.
Right.
The actress was amazing. She was she's beautiful, and I enjoyed it. It was very deep and interesting, not your typical film.
A film that...
It's something like it takes a festival like this to to expose you to these kinds of movies. Otherwise, you never would have seen it.
Have you ever had artichoke? You say no. And you say, I'll taste it.
Right, I'll taste it.
Piece of bacala.
I don't know about certain things, but yeah, definitely artichoke is fine, but rabbit and certain things that are popular.
No,
definitely not.
Yeah.
Not with all the cute little rabbits we have right here.
That's
In
right.
the Hamptons jumping around our neighborhood.
And the deer and all that
And
other
the deer,
stuff.
yeah. I don't eat deer. We don't eat anything that walks in my backyard.
But if it's prosciutto, it's all right.
Okay.
A little piece of
now you're
prosciutto.
talking.
A little bit of melon wrapped around the prosciutto. It's always good. But it's great to see you.
It's great to see you. I'm so happy to see WV. I was going to say HH.
VVH.
It's VVH-TV.
Right, we got a lot bigger
My
from
favorite channel
That's
in the
right.
Hamptons. Run by two dear brothers.
That we're going to be honored the end of the month in the Broadcast Hall of Fame.
Oh
We're
my
Hall
God.
of Famers.
Congratulations.
believe it or
Can I
not.
get invited to that?
You can.
I like to be. I'll even pay for a ticket. Anyway, it's great seeing both of you. This is a wonderful event. I've been looking forward to it, all week. And this is my first movie. So
what are you up to next?
what am I working on next? I'm actually working on a startup streaming channel. We have to talk about that at some point.
That's a good idea.
Yeah, it's a good idea. It needs some funding, but it's something that no one's done yet. And I think it could be very, very positive for a number of industries, not just digital media, but I mean, it's a content play. It involves real estate.
Oh, that's good.
So we should talk.
Very good.
And and just a lot of that's a creative pursuit of mine because you know me, I'm always into.
You're always
I'm
into
always
stuff.
doing something.
And you're
but-
always ahead of the curve. You always.
Yeah, that's my problem. I'm a little bit too far ahead.
My brother's behind the curve.
Well, I've gotten a few curves since this is COVID-19 right here.
It's a beautiful
Do
sweatshirt.
you like my sweatshirt?
It's perfect.
$65. But it goes to a good cause.
That's great. Hamptons, what is this? Land and Sea and Environmental Program.
Hamptons Film, yeah, exactly. Goes to a good cause.
I'm here with some avid film fans. Easy for me to say, and dear friends from Gurney's. Come a little closer. Not going to bite. We're all tested. I had hoof and mouth years ago.
Oh, well, I'm fine.
So what are you here to see?
Well, we're here to see Julia right now because I'm obsessed with her. But we just saw a fantastic movie right before this, and last
one?
night's event. What was it called again?
Last night, the opening.
No,
Bring
no,
your friends
come on up.
closer.
The one today. The one
This
today.
is Kimberly.
The worst person in the
The worst
world.
person in the world.
Oh, it was
Yeah.
so good.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's
that
a
was
good
terrific.
What I liked about it is the subtitles. I had to read and focus, so I really liked it.
Well, I tell you, that's what makes the festival so exciting.
Right,
Yeah,
right.
we've been doing it for this is the 29th. I think we did the first one. The first one.
Remember, we hosted at Gurney's the
You did
opening
it at
parties
Gurney's,
every
right?
year.
And I don't know if you remember, we interviewed a filmmaker, and in those days they did it like Cannes. They had
Right.
all the it was like a circus. So they had a Volkswagen with antennas on it, and we were interviewing the filmmaker of this little film. And all of a sudden, the police come and give the guy a ticket, and we're towing him away. And we said to the police officer, please. It's a film festival. He said, I don't know. What film festival? What
What's
are
a
you talking
film
about?
festival?
So that was it. So from that humble beginning, we're here now.
But the party was crazy at Gurney's,
Oh,
and then
yeah.
then they came into town here. But last night, the Wave, we were hanging out with all the actors. Well, they're not really actors; they were heroes. They just terrific people.
The frontline workers to show their stories last night.
yeah.
Did you see it?
Yeah, very good.
Amazing.
So they brought on stage a real the doctor, and the nurse, and a survivor.
Wow.
Yeah.
That
Amazing.
was crazy.
Yeah.
Very powerful. That's
Just-
something.
It was, and then
To show it-
hanging with them.
To show it in detail and in depth. This was in March. They were filming in March. They had the Werribee to know that this was something big, and they teamed up with the
Long
hospital.
Island Jewish
Hospital.
Hospital let them in
Yeah.
during COVID.
Yeah.
I mean, it
Amazing.
was just
Amazing.
amazing.
Yeah.
They captured
The story.
and then the woman. It was interesting talking to her last night. The only reason she allowed the filming with her husband because that way she could see him.
She could get
Oh,
more information.
right.
She could get more information.
What a pity. So many people, perished. It's an amazing thing. I mean, here, just the fact that we're all gathering together again
Yes.
is quite
A
amazing.
celebration.
Yeah, hopefully. Well, I think I got the rap sign from
Oh, thank you.
from the little people
good
at
to
home.
see you
Good to see
again.
you. Now, are you still associated with Gurney's? Or no?
Well, I'm helping the new spa director a little bit with finding some staff because I had
You
a
were the
lot of
best.
staff.
You had some following.
Oh, wasn't she
Yeah,
magical?
I have 20. A lot of staff are coming back. 20 staff, and Sandra Sadowski, she'll be terrific new spa director there, and I'm helping her a little bit just with staffing. I mean, she'll do everything. She's
That's
amazing.
amazing. But you really brought that place to light, and
Oh,
it
thank
really
you.
was a good
Never
time.
made more money. It's like it made like a third of what it used to. Still like years ago. But we had a great team.
You
I
did.
mean, all
Ingrid,
locals
and you had Paulie and
Ingrid and Paul and all the
Chip.
Montes. You know, were terrific people.
And we liked the two brothers. We had Angelo and.
Oh,
it was so
yeah,
cute.
Angelo, God bless. I mean, and Nick. I came in, Nick brought me in, so.
Yeah,
Did you work at Gurney's or you just did
No,
events
no,
at
we-
Gurney's?
we
He had a
would
show,
we would do
the American Dream show.
American Dream show.
wow.
We would shoot it. And the Gurney story, my best was it was their 80th anniversary. Something like
That was a great party.
So the brothers, Angelo and Nick, they had a big cake for everybody, right? So we were all there, all the guests. And
yes.
So they had a sword to cut the cake. So,
Right.
being with my brother, we always do the same thing. Like sword fights are always a big thing. So I said that to Angelo, and Angelo had this like devilish look in his eyeball, and you could see that he wanted to have like a
Something fun.
sword battle like Zorro with his brother. So I said, it was cute. It was really good. Hi, everybody. This is the official catalog for the Hamptons International Film Festival. It's chock full of ideas and different movies, but you could see the whole thing on the website, hamptonsfilmfest.org. So if you have an opportunity, take a look, review the films, and come down, buy tickets, and enjoy a beautiful fall afternoon at the movies. hamptonsfilmfestival.org. Okay, we're not in Rome, but we're here at the 1770 house, and right on Main Street, beautiful place, which hosted today's event here at the Hamptons Film Festival. So thanks for watching. If you need more information about the festival or would like to get tickets or find out a little bit about the background of each filmmaker, contact hamptonsfilmfest.org. That's hamptonsfilmfest.org. So come on out, come watch the movies here in East Hampton.